This video is being used for copyright disclaimer under 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, made for fair use for a purpose such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that otherwise might be infringing nonprofit, educational, or personal use. Tips the balance in favor of fair use.
This cannot be happening again. Hey guys, how are y'all doing today? So I'm about to put some fuel in my truck, and my husband's putting fuel in his. But I'm at the Circle K here in North Carolina, and I don't know what's going on, but something serious is happening. We had to search for a pump. Let me show you what I'm talking about. But before I do, you guys, make sure you're paying attention to your area and what is happening. It started in Canada with the money being frozen. Now in China, same situation, but it started a few months with them, but they still haven't accessed their money.
A New Jersey healthcare worker's bank account inexplicably frozen. All of the money she had in the world suddenly out of her grasp. She was near the breaking point.
I felt like trash, and then the people were looking at me like, oh, you did something wrong.
Carol Simpson's tears are due to her 7-month ordeal after her entire savings, more than $66,000, was frozen by Citibank last December.
I had to beg for my money every month, and I did beg for my money.
A surreal situation for this homeowner and mother. She and her family proudly served in the U.S. military.
So your dad's in the Army, you were in the Army, your son's in the Army?
My grandfather, his father wasn't in the Army.
And Carol spent 30 years at the local VA until an accident on the job ended her career. But just days after her workers' comp check was deposited, her account was locked.
Every time you went to the branch, you couldn't withdraw it?
No, they told me no.
Carol says the Citibank branch manager made her show everything from her social security card, passport, driver's license, even her birth certificate, but still wouldn't unfreeze her money. Then another blow, a car accident landed her in the hospital.
So how did you pay your bills?
My friends, they helped me, give me money, helped me provide for my house.
But the most valuable gift, some advice from a friend.
One of my friends came over and said, Carol, you're not like that. I know you're a fighter. Why won't you fight? Call 7 on your side. It really works.
So we got in touch with Citibank, and within a few days, Carol got a big surprise. A 5-figure check delivered.
You can't cry now. You got to be happy.
I am. These are happy tears.
Okay, I like happy tears. I'll take it.
Citibank said they may temporarily freeze accounts to investigate unusual activity.
But why would they freeze it for 7 months? And why did it take the news reporter for them to unfreeze it?
Hundreds of people in China are standing up to the Communist Party. A protest has broken out. This is what courage in China looks like. Why are these people protesting? Apparently, they are unable to withdraw money, their own money, from banks. China is witnessing bank runs again. A bank in Henan ran out of cash, so these people took to the streets to protest, and they're not alone in their suffering. For almost 2 months, thousands of people have faced such ordeals. Their life savings are at stake. Suddenly, 4 banks in Henan suspended cash withdrawals because these banks are caught up in a fraud scheme. It involves a shareholder, Henan New Fortune Group. It had ownership in all 4 of these banks. This group colluded with bank officials. The bank assets were used to illegally raise funds. Now, Chinese regulators have begun an investigation. I have a statement from them with me. This is what they've said. The biggest shareholder of the 4 lenders, Henan New Fortune Group, is suspected of raising funds illegally using online channels and third-party systems in collusion with bank insiders. What is the statement trying to convey? What really happened at these banks? Allow me to explain. Now, we all know how banks make money. They take deposits from account holders like you and me. Then they lend that same money to borrowers, sometimes also like you and me. They charge an interest on that loan. Now, when that money is paid back, the bank pays an interest to the depositors. And the interest on loans is higher than what you make on deposits. And this difference is the difference that we call a bank's profit. In China, the same banking system has gone online. Local banks often leverage assets on fintech platforms. They take deposits from people and they lend money to borrowers online. These banks promise high interest rates to account holders. And here is where the problem begins. These banks never make enough money on loans. The depositors come back for their money, they demand their interest, eventually the bank runs out of cash. China had banned banks from making such third-party transactions, but the practice has not stopped. Small and rural banks have now developed their own banking channels online. They're playing with the money of their depositors, and Beijing seems to be encouraging this. In the month of January, China asked banks to boost their lending to the infamous real estate sector in China. Yes, those were sitting on a $5 trillion debt pile. By the end of 2021, at least 11 Chinese developers had defaulted. There have been defaults this year as well. In May, Sunac China Holdings had to pay around $30 million. It defaulted. This company is China's fourth largest developer. Sunac has been in the spotlight for months. It has outstanding bonds worth around $7.7 billion. That's the highest for any Chinese developer. The company is not making any money. It is unable to sell its properties, so it defaulted. And it's not an exception. There are many like it. The defaults could double this year. In 2021, we saw 11 defaults. This year, we might witness 22. Goldman Sachs has released an assessment. It says 22 real estate businesses in China are in trouble. They have either defaulted on their bonds already or they have deferred their payments. Now, with so many defaults, will any investor bet their money on the Chinese real estate market? Beijing wants its banks to make these loans. The depositors of these banks have a reason to be worried.
And if you think this can't happen here in the United States, think again. It will happen. Okay, now we're dealing with this fuel shortage still. Now, I'm not talking about diesel. Regular gas as well. So let me show you what I'm talking about. See the pumps? These pumps right here. I'm parked right here. Mine is fine. I found one that's fine. That one up there is fine. This one right here. On the other side of this white van right here is yellow. Over here on the other side of my husband, I think one of those were yellow. Bags were on. Yep. See here? So, and that's diesel and regular fuel. Right now, you guys, we are living in some strange times. We have fuel shortage, not just diesel. We have banks freezing money. We have power outages, so grid down. So that's even another reason you need to keep money on you, because nothing is going to work. And if you need to go out to the store for an emergency and they do happen to be open, I promise you they're not taking cards because they don't have the power to do that. Okay, so stay alert. Let's remember also that Shanghai is back on a partial lockdown. Okay, so get your supplies and get stocked up. Stores are still closing. A lot of things are going on, and I'm telling you, we're living in hard times, and they're going to get harder. Also, don't take for granted that, you know, people are excited. Well, the gas is going down. Gas is still over $4 a gallon. Okay, well over $4 a gallon, and in some places over $5 a gallon. So until gas goes down to $3 or $2.50 or something, then I'll get excited. But for now, paying $70 just to fill up, that's a lot.